The Patriots are on a 4-game win streak, fresh off a perfect road trip with 3 wins. Can they keep it going as they return home against the Cleveland Browns? Let's break it down.
He's sacked. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Patriots.
Welcome, everybody, to this week's preview. It's Deuce and Lazar here to break it down for you. And Ev, Patriots are streaking right now. Drake Maye is white hot, but now comes probably his stiffest test of this season so far with this Cleveland Browns defense, which, you know, plenty of rankings that'll tell you how good they are. 5th in DVOA, really solid against the run. Myles, Garrett up front. We know him, future Hall of Fame player, probably going to be lining up over Will Campbell. It's a big challenge this week.
It's fun, though. I'm looking forward to it because you get to see Drake Maye and this rise that he has had to that MVP conversation. If he deals against this Browns defense the way that he has the last couple of weeks, I mean, that's going to be a real feather in his cap of where he's grown and what he's been able to do. They're fast, they're aggressive, they're exceptional up front. This is going to be the best front they face all year long. Number 1 in the league in pass rush win rate. Number 1 in the league in run stop win rate, number 1 in the league in pretty much everything from a pass rush standpoint. So they definitely have to be cognizant every time Drake Maye drops back to pass, both Drake Maye and from a play calling standpoint of 95 Myles Garrett coming off the edge, but also Malik Collins, Alex Wright, Mason Graham. It's a really good group.
You mentioned it. I mean, they rotate guys in and out. It's all about that front four, play a lot of man coverage behind it. You know, Drake Maye said this week they'll sprinkle in some zone. They'll try to catch you off guard. But otherwise, is it, you know, too simple to look at this Patriots offensive line, especially the 2 rookies on the left side going up against, which, you know, of course, Garrett and Collins, who's having a career season at 30 years old?
Yeah, no, it's not. And that's really the matchup within the matchup. But at the same time, it's not that Will Campbell has to stand in the middle of the ring against Myles Garrett for 15 rounds and just take the beating. You know, like they can move Drake Maye around. They can move the pocket, which has been really effective against this Cleveland defense. The one thing that you kind of can get this Cleveland defense on is their over aggressiveness at times. So if you use things like moving pockets, bootlegs, if you use things like play action, and you have a little bit of balance to your offense and run and pass game, then this Browns defense has given up some big plays through the air, down the field, especially against non-corners that are not named Denzel Ward, right? Like if you go over after a Tyson Campbell or some of these other guys, they have given up some plays. So I do think there are certain buttons that Josh McDaniels can push, mainly the play action and moving pockets, which we've seen the Patriots have a lot of success with already.
Yeah, maybe a little of the screen game, too. Wouldn't mind some Travion Henderson. Get him out in space. That might get him going. Let's look at the Browns' offensive side of the ball, though, where really it's kind of a rookie takeover, I'd say, with Dillon Gabriel. He's been in a quarterback for 3 games. He's looking at his tight end, Harold Fannin Jr., him and David Njoku, who's been limited this week. We'll see if he's able to play. Seem like kind of the primary engines of the offense. And then, you know, rookie Quinshon Judkins, teammate of Travion Henderson at Ohio State, big bruising back, you know, top 10 rushing yards right now. He's really come on as well. And, you know, Jerry Jeudy, we can't ignore him. Missing some practice this week as well, though. Maybe his status in question. You know, what stands out to me, though, with Dillon Gabriel, 3 games, just no turnovers. And that's a big piece for a rookie quarterback. He's not the biggest guy. He's taken 10 sacks. So I think Patriots defense getting after him is a big key. But, you know, to me, those turnovers are kind of the wild card in this game. If you're able to maybe get Gabriel to turn the ball over the first time, it'll give the Patriots offense a little boost. Maybe they're able to pull away.
They're trying to play conservative offense. They want to live in the run game, the short passing game, play action with clean pictures. They don't want to put too much on Dillon Gabriel's plate, which makes sense for a young quarterback that frankly struggles throwing the ball down the field. Right now, he is last in the league in completion percentage on throws over 10 air yards. So if you are putting him in longer down and distances, if you're putting him behind the scoreboard or just off schedule in any sort of way, them throwing their way back into the football game is not going to be easy the way that this Browns team is constructed. So they want to run the ball. They want to stay ahead of the chains. They want to hit the short passes, the screens, the underneath throws. That's their offense right now. And we've seen that here over the years recently, you know, with short pass game offenses, offenses that really are kind of pop guns and you don't really have that ability to throw the ball down the field. It's very limited. So if you're the Patriots, and I look at this kind of like a complementary sort of way with all 3 phases, if you can get this Browns offense behind? Can you put 10 points up early? Can you put 14 points up early and make them score? They're 30th in the league in points per game. Last week, 21 of their 31 points came off of Miami turnovers. So it's not an offense that really puts a lot of fear into you. But if you let them play ball control, run game, that sort of thing, they can grind you down.
That's what I was going to get into. Is this is third straight week they've had a first-year starter, Spencer Rattler, in his second year. He just took over. Of course, Cam Ward last week is the first overall pick. And it concerns me a little bit. We saw those two previous opponents really complete a lot of passes now once the games kind of declared themselves, and especially with the Patriots around the halftime, they pulled away. It changed the complexion of the game. But, do you have any concern with these two tight ends if Njoku's able to play? Pretty effective. Gabriel might be able to attack the middle of the field, which has been a spot of weakness for the Patriots. And looking at the last 2 weeks, they've allowed a lot of completions to young quarterbacks.
Yeah, I do have some concerns in terms of like the tertiary weapons on all of these offenses. I feel pretty good about the Patriots corners right now. I think Christian Gonzalez, Carlton Davis, and Marcus Jones have played some high-level football this season, but it's the fourth option. It's the fifth option. Like if you're going to start playing more man-to-man coverage, which I think the Patriots are going to do, then you're going to need some guys to emerge that can cover tight ends and running backs at a high level, and then also, of course, help in the middle of the field as well. So right now, when I watch the Patriots defense on film against the pass, there's a lot of space in the middle of the field, whether that's schematic or whether that's just guys getting beat to the middle of the field. So they have to do some things differently, I think, in man-to-man, especially to try to help some of these guys that are on the outside trying to cover these receivers running into the middle of the field, whether it's robber help, post-safety help, second and third level help defenders. So I do think that there are answers to the Patriots, what ails them in a pass defense standpoint, and not to take the Browns too lightly, but maybe this is a nice week to try to find some things that work for you and try some different things because you're not necessarily worried that Dylan Gabriel is going to put up 350 yards against you.
Yeah, well, we can't let this preview end without talking about Drake Maye, who, come on, he's playing at a ridiculous level right now, an MVP level. You see all the stats out there of what he's doing. It's special right now. Some signs of life in the run game last week with Ramondre Stevenson. Maybe not, great in the second half. Kind of seemed like those opportunities dried up a little bit, but what does Drake Maye and the offense need to do to keep this rolling? I mean, it's probably a little crazy to expect. Like, he's not going to complete 90% of his passes every single week.
Yeah.
But even if he's close to that, they're going to continue to be a really effective offense.
Well, I think what they've done a really nice job of is just taking what the defense gives you. And I think that that's when you get into a situation where you do have a high completion rate, you don't have a lot of turnovers, is when you're really just making the defense pick its poison and then taking what they're giving you. And early on in that game against Tennessee, they got a lot of too high safety shells from the Titans defense, and they had a lot of success running the football early on in that game. The first drive, Ramondre Stevenson averaging 8 yards a pop on the ground against two high safety shells. So, of course, what do defenses do? They have to adjust. They have to make their own adjustments, and they go to more single high looks, and they go to more looks that you can throw against. And then all of a sudden in the second quarter, Drake Maye is starting to drop dimes down the field. So I think that it was all a little bit of the chess match that really opened up the run game on last Sunday against the Titans. So that's what the Patriots need to keep doing. It's good offense when you can run the ball when you need to run it and you can throw the ball when you need to throw it. Because if you're a defense, you look at it and you say, well, what do we take away? What do we stop here? So I was really interested to see what the Patriots run game would look like when teams started to game plan the passing game, when they start to back off a little bit, put the two high safeties in the deep part of the field, and get a little bit scared of Drake Maye, like what was going to happen. And that happened against the Titans, and the Patriots were able to run the ball, at least in the first half.
All right, well, that's going to wrap up this preview. The Patriots, again, back home. Huge point of emphasis this week, making this a tough place to play. Patriots could be streaking toward the playoffs. They'd want that kind of advantage here. So be sure you're here early. Patriots pregame show will start at 11:45. We'll see you Sunday.